Hello, friends. Jim Nantz along with Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson. Two teams that are explosive but also angry right now about their position at the midway point.
Angry's good in NFL football. You know, that's how I feel. The Green Bay Packers, I think they're angry at themselves that they didn't go after Matt Ryan last week in that loss. They let him get too comfortable, so I don't expect them to do that today. I expect them to be more aggressive. And Andrew Luck, the offense, they got to cover for the defense. He's going to have to play really, really well here today to give the Colts a chance to win.
This game is being broadcast in Spanish. We're available using the SAP button on your television. How stunning is it? How about in the 60s? First time in 33 years at Lambeau, a game in November has been played in the 60s. So the Packers have won the toss and elected to kick the football to the Colts. The Colts coming in here at 3-5, while Green Bay is 4-3. Crosby has to re-tee it one more time. This is the only home game for Green Bay in nearly a 5-week stretch since being home a couple of Thursdays ago against Chicago, on the road last week to Atlanta, then 3 more road games to come up before they have Houston here early December. This is Todman returning it with an opening. Past Crosby, and Jordan Todman races down the sideline and takes it the distance, 99 yards, and a kick return touchdown to open the game. Some of our audience is just joining us. We've had an opening kickoff return for a touchdown by Jordan Todman, covering 99 yards.
Here it comes. Look at the block by Ferguson against Clinton Dix. That was the last block that let him go all the way. And what was really good about that, Jim, he moved into the catch. He caught it with a little running start, and, man, it was full speed all the way. The wedge, something you don't hear much about anymore in the NFL. Good job of getting the first blocks to free up Ferguson for the second block.
Vinatieri out for the extra point. And 13 seconds into the game, I was talking about the stunning weather. A stunning start here for the visiting Colts. Here's that run-up you spoke of, Phil.
Yep, here it is. That's what you're supposed to do as a kick returner. And look at Ferguson, gets out there, makes that final block, and he just turns it on. That is... it's like a track star running down there trying to win a gold medal. That was awesome. You know, talking about the Colts, look at that. There's the hole. There's the block. And what did Andrew Luck say? This is a must-win. We need to stay in the race. The energy, the vibe, the pressure on the Colts, he thought. He felt it this week, and here they go.
Chuck Pagano's Colts get the first kick return for a touchdown for Indianapolis since 2012. Todman, who's bounced around in this league, was with Pittsburgh a year ago, Jacksonville for 3 seasons, San Diego, Minnesota a little bit. His first ever kick return for a touchdown. His 6th overall career touchdown. And again, Green Bay had won the toss and elected to kick the football. In this doubleheader window, this is not the opening kickoff. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson. The opening kick has just been returned for a touchdown by Jordan Todman of the Colts. And now this is Davis of Green Bay out to the 32. A shocking beginning to this game as Todman was able to gallop 99 yards for a touchdown. And let's bring out Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense for what will be the first snap of the game. There you see his numbers through the first 5 games, but the last 2 against Chicago and Atlanta, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's got Lindsley back today at center, coming off PUP. Treader is out with a knee injury. Devontae Adams has come off of back-to-back games with 13 and 12 catches. If he gets 12 or more in this one, be the first player ever in league history to have 3 straight games of 12 or more, as Ty Montgomery takes the first handoff all the way to the Colts side of the field for 24 yards.
Really good blocking up front. Ty Montgomery. How about the wide receiver? Look inside there. You see Lindsley, Lane Taylor. They get the blocks. They seal it inside, and I think this transformation is official now, don't you think, Jim Nantz? We're going to see Ty Montgomery in this backfield for the rest of the year.
He was out last week with illness, but we've started to see this offense develop on that Thursday night game. And another audience just joining us as Montgomery gets the handle on the second snap of the game. For those just coming in this doubleheader window, we've had an opening kickoff return for a touchdown by the Colts' Jordan Todman of 99 yards. Here is the Colts defense. Ridgeway, the rookie out of Texas, getting the start. Robert Mathis, he's in his 14th year and feeling as healthy as he has now in a couple of years. TJ Green is another rookie starter, second-round pick out of Clemson. Very promising. 2nd and 8. As Rodgers looks left, then right, left again, and now flings it out of bounds over the head of Adams. And again, a lot of folks just joining us after the opening kick, and this is what we saw.
Todman going up, set it, look at that block in front by Ferguson, and then just the speed to outrun. The Green Bay defense timed it right on the goal line.
Todman in his 4th year out of UConn. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, and Tracy Wolfson at Lambeau Field on a gorgeous day in the mid-60s. 3rd and 8 for Rodgers and company. Down the middle, complete to Richard Rodgers and a first down at the Colts 31. Gain of 12.
TJ Green going against Rodgers. Number 82, just go down. You know where the first down marker is? All you need is a little window when Aaron Rodgers is making the throws. Right on target for a big first down. Now, Green Bay does so many different things. You talked about it, Jim. Injuries to the running backs. They went to these 5 wide receivers. Montgomery in the backfield. Now it's Jackson. I've seen Devontae Adams in the backfield already in this game. They keep you guessing. They keep you off guard.
Here, the fake handoff to Don Jackson. Play action. Rodgers has Richard Rodgers for a second straight play, and it's a big gainer of 22 down to the 10.
Here he goes. Nice fake across the field. A lot of times when running our receivers on a play action fake, if they start going one way, that's where the action's going to go. So that little fake in the inside and then breaking it back out, then the perfect throw, big play for the Packers.
The Colts pass defense has been abysmal this season. 31st against the pass. Their opponents have averaged almost 300 yards passing per game. And the Packers have scored on 5 consecutive opening drives, trying to make it 6 in a row. First and goal from the 9, and Rodgers in trouble and decked at the 19. He is brought down by LeVar Edwards.
LeVar Edwards took advantage of the fact that he had a tight end on him to the left side. There it is. He's against Richard Rodgers. Always hate those matchups. When you expect a tight end, I think what happened, they had a little confusion and they knocked each other off there. But tight end against the pass rusher, big outside linebacker. Usually, I think the advantage goes to the defense.
They spot the sack at the 16, and it's 2nd and goal from here as he brings back through the backfield Montgomery. Rodgers flings it at the last moment for an incompletion.
Now what they're doing, listen, we talked to Chuck Pagano last night. So many things to talk about when you talk about this. You said it, 31st in the league, the Indianapolis Colts defense. But what they're trying to do, and we've already seen, bringing in extra defensive backs and taking linebackers out wide to get speed to match the speed of the Packers offense when they spread it out. And almost say, go ahead and run the football if you want. That scares you less than Aaron Rodgers having the football in his hand.
Pagano was looking up at the replay of that last one. He implored his team to be sharper. First 5, last 5. First 5 minutes of the game, last 5 minutes of the halves. As Rodgers goes to the end zone, and it's over the head of Jordy Nelson. And it'll bring out Crosby for a field goal from about 34.
Hey, even though their defensive backfield is beat up, don't expect them to pull back on the Colts side. They are an aggressive defense. That time they had DeQuell Jackson spying Aaron Rodgers to make sure he stays in the backfield. Rashawn Melton, excellent coverage.
So Crosby's 13 out of 14 this season, making 42 of his last 43 from inside the 40. This is from 34. And for the 6th straight game, the Packers produced points on their first offensive series. Unable to match the opening kickoff return touchdown, though. And we'll finally see Luck and the Colts offense coming out next. The Packers are the only team in the league to score in the first quarter in every game. Rodgers 2 out of 5 on that opening drive, getting down the field with a couple of completions to Richard Rodgers. Todman is not out here for this kick return. He's on the bench. And Ferguson watches this bound past him. We'll bring out Andrew Luck for the first time. He's put up 16 touchdowns this season, but he has been under heavy pressure most of the time. He's been sacked more than any quarterback in the league. Also knocked down the most times, 60 times this year. They've got issues on the offensive line. Phil will explore that in a moment. Harrison moves to left guard. T.Y. Hilton, there was some question this week, Phil, whether he would play. Hamstring, he's out there.
Big deal that he's back. That's what this offense to me revolves around. The speed of T.Y. Hilton, big plays, and can he get coverage going his way?
First play is a handoff to Frank Gore. And he's just able to get back to the line into the arms of Clinton Dix. Let's meet this Dom Capers-led defense. Mike Daniels, you're high on him, Phil. Fifth-year player out of Iowa. Nick Perry.
High on him, too.
Yep.
Some guys that
can make a difference. Quentin Rollins.
A couple guys, their names are under the radar, Jim, that we don't get to talk about a lot, but you said it. Mike Daniels, Nick Perry, Clay Matthews out today with a hamstring injury.
Rollins with a groin. He's starting in that secondary. Here's a 2nd and 10 handoff up the middle for about 6 with Gore.
You know, tough to run the football. I know they want to do it. That's the Colts, they want to control the tempo, keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline. But when you talk about Green Bay's defense, LaTroy Guion, Mike Daniels, so good inside that it frees up all the athletes they have around them. And they are athletic in that front 7. So they can overcome errors, chase you down, shoot through gaps. That's why they're one of the best run defenses in the NFL.
Turbin comes in as the 3rd down back.
How about this look? All the people to stand up. Who do you block?
3rd and 5. Luck hit when he threw it, and it's picked off. It influenced that pass. It's Clinton Dix. Clinton Dix. Micah Hyde says, "Follow me." But he's not able to get past Turbin, who brings him down. Bill, it was your man Mike Daniels who hit Luck when he threw it.
Well, he did, and look at, just watch this defense as it's moving around at the last second, and it confuses Andrew Luck. So he wants to throw it right here short, pulls it off and throws it down the field, and Clinton Dix watching the quarterback the whole way. And when you turn and look one way, look at him looking at him the whole time. And the quarterback's eyes stay in one spot too long, it's going to lead to trouble.
6th interception thrown by Luck this season against those 16 touchdowns.
Great disguise by the defense. We didn't see that last week against Atlanta. We said it in the opening. I think today we're going to see movement, different pressures.
With a short field, a quick toss to Devontae Adams for a couple. Be the first to know your team's news with the CBS Sports app. Instant updates, expert analysis, highlights, and everything you need. Download the CBS Sports app today.
You know, we're always geniuses after the fact, right, Jim? You know, we know it all once it's over. But looking back, it's just that how I think upset Green Bay was about their defense. So
their defense stepping up and making a play there. As McCarthy told us this week,
turnovers
need to be more aggressive and create turnovers. 2nd and 8. Out of the backfield, they go to Adams, and the Colts are all over that. That is Melvin who comes up and drops him for a loss of 3. So you see what these last two games have meant for Rodgers. Completion-wise, over 70%. We showed you the 7 touchdowns and no picks.
And you know, also, why did he just turn around? It's not just the defenses they played. They changed their offense because of the injuries to the running back position. And they just got him in flow. Got Devontae Adams a lot of confidence. Got Jordy Nelson back in the offense. Ty Montgomery, too, for one game.
3rd and 11. And the receiver is down. And looking for a flag to no avail. Richard Rodgers, the target. And it'll bring out Crosby again. So the Packers twice on the Indianapolis side of the field having to settle for field goals. And this will be from about 48.
That's a good match. Richard Rodgers against T.J. Green, the rookie safety from Clemson. He has got speed, and he just needs time on the field to turn into one of those safeties that you got to worry about back there. But he can run with Rodgers. Did a good job. Incidental tripping is not a foul.
So from 48. Wide left. Just the 2nd miss of the season. So nothing off the interception for Green Bay.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Verizon. Welcome to Verizon LTE Advanced, the next-gen network. And by Hyundai, official sponsor of the NFL.
The Packers Hall of Fame, housed right here inside Lambeau Field, and definitely worth a visit. Crosby still in disbelief after that miss from 48, shaking his head. So they take over at the 38, the Colts. Clear out the backfield. Lutz pass is batted in the air and falls to the ground as Perry tried to run toward it.
I think there's a lot of confidence in this Green Bay defensive line, what they can do here in this game today. They're keeping safeties back. They're going to use a 4-man rush, and they're going to push that pocket back. Batted passes, by and large, come from things like this, where they just get too much penetration, get those hands up. That's what causes all these tip passes.
And that's Muhort, their left guard, usually, who is out with a tricep injury. Here's a 2nd and 10. Luck extends the play and is able to pick up the first down with the throw to Dorsett.
That says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Low, low, and low.
Yep.
So it was a tough day for them. And I will say everybody on that offense contributed to that tough day.
So off their harshest results of the season offensively, now they move to the Green Bay side of the field here mid-first.
Well, Green Bay, look at this. Morgan Burnett, the safety up at the line of scrimmage. They're making no doubt about what they want to do here. They're showing it to them early.
Down the middle. He's got T.Y. Hilton. Ducks under Ryan. Big gainer, though. Down to the 27, picks up 20.
Yeah, they're coming in. They're bringing the blitz, but T.Y. Hilton, where they're putting him in the formation, look, puts him inside, makes it tough. You got Jake Ryan that has to kind of watch the middle. So they're blitzing, trying to play a little zone, read the quarterback behind. The protection held up. Andrew Luck right on the money.
Hilton told us he's not 100%, but he's got a catch there to set him up at the 27. And here is a short throw to Gore for maybe one. Well, let's give it no gain. And T.Y. injured a hamstring in the game against Kansas City on a long ball that was called back. Ended up only having one catch last week. There it is.
Yep.
For 20 yards. That came with 97 seconds left in the game. That's all he could do is he was clearly hampered.
Well, you get over 100 yards. They've won those games this season. So, like, I do believe he's a huge key to the offense because of his big playability. He can make 2 defenders run with him. He clears out spaces in the field for the other guys. Really surprised he made it back from the hamstring.
Got Dante Moncrief back as of a week ago. Once again, back to Hilton. And he steps out of bounds after 5. It'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. Yeah, Dante Moncrief coming back after missing 5 games with a fractured scapula. He caught a touchdown, 4 balls overall last week. And now they have Dwayne Allen back. So this offense is missing a lot of parts on the offensive line, but wide outs, they're back.
I think the offense is there in Indianapolis. They just got to get to that point where they stay healthy and play together, especially the offensive line. Man, it's always who's going to play where.
Rushing 5. Luck's pass is caught. Was he touched? Allen, just in case, gets to his feet and takes it across, but they're marking him back at the 7.
Well, here he is going down the field against Morgan Burnett. That was a terrific throw by Andrew Luck, and he definitely is touched.
Picks up 15.
At the line of scrimmage. Nice shake by Dwayne Allen. Wondered how long he could go today. When you come off injury, usually Chuck Pagano, I think they'd always like to keep it to 15 to 20 plays, but he's such a great matchup inside and a good run blocker. It'll be hard to keep him off the field.
1st and goal from the 7. Toss to Gore. Blocker in front, and Gore gallops in for the touchdown.
This is what they want. They want sustained drives. Give their defense a rest. Get this offense in rhythm. Anthony Costanzo, excellent job. The left tackle. Watch him move out. Bingo. Makes a great block in. Frank Gore just walks into the end zone. Really good design play.
Well, Gore, no stranger to the Packers defense all those years in San Francisco. That becomes now his 6th career touchdown against Green Bay, this being the 8th time he's ever faced him.
A good drive after an interception. Rob Chajinski gave him a few different wrinkles. Offensive line held up.
And Vinatieri tacks on 1. Indianapolis leads it 14-3 in the first quarter.
What I say, I love angry teams. Indy came here angry, so showing it here early.
Tomorrow on CBS, Adam Sandler joins Kevin James. A very special Kevin Can Wait. Tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. So Frank Gore congratulating his lineman, as you mentioned. Costanzo threw a key block there to help get him to the end zone from 7 out.
When they make blocks like that, you go over and love them up, Jim.
Joe Philbin was down there.
Yep.
An offensive line coach, assistant head coach for the Colts with a deep history here in Green Bay.
That's right.
Long-time offensive coordinator.
Knows Don Capers well.
Yep. Davis tripped up, trying to split the tacklers. And the Packers will begin inside their own 20.
Well, special teams, it's probably not talked about enough, but man, when there's this mistake made on them, it has a big outcome in the football game. Ron Zook sees the big kickoff return and then the missed field goal, and well, I don't know. Look at the grass. Didn't look like he slipped.
And then special teams with a short run back here.
Hey, listen, it just hit me last night. Just listen to Andrew Luck and them talk. Hey, we had the energy this week. They feel the pressure. They knew it coming into this game, and it shows. They played with great intensity to start.
It's Don Jackson, undrafted rookie out of Nevada. He has 4 with that carry.
Yeah, they like to get him 8 to 10 carries. I think he's got a lot of talent, and it just, like for any young guy in the league, you just need a playing time to get a feel. And when you're young running back, what do? You play too fast. You get the ball, you just run as fast as you can to wherever you're going instead of reading your offensive lineman, waiting for it to open up, waiting for it to develop.
He wasn't healthy during the preseason, so he's still catching up. After he got cut, then re-signed, put to the practice squad, brought up a couple of weeks ago. Here's the second straight handle for Jackson. Set up 3rd and about 3.
Boy, DeQuell Jackson that time. Oh, that was an excellent thing. Such a big key for the Colts today. And we heard it from Chuck Pagano. I thought this coming in the game, can they make the tackles? In other words, can they make the tackles on the short catches? When it's one-on-one, do you tackle the running back? That time DeQuell Jackson did it. Green Bay throws a lot of short passes that kind of go over his run, so you can't let him turn into big gains.
Third and a long 2. Rodgers pass knocked away. Going back to Richard Rodgers, who's been his primary target here in the first quarter. That was Gathers who broke it up.
Clayton Gathers, the other safety, is on him this time. And, hey, the pass protection once again. But watch 26 on 82 right in your screen. The coverage is perfect. Reach that left hand in front. I think we've seen this story before. Got to get open when you're man on man.
So Rodgers to Rodgers was incomplete. Now we got Chester Rodgers back waiting for the punt from Shum. Chester Rodgers at the 20. Boy, Hawk looked like he was making a fair catch signal.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's going to hurt him worse. Blocking the back.
Well, he started to raise his hand. It got almost shoulder high. That was a 54-yard boot by Shum.
And he's waving his hand. He doesn't raise it over his head.
Tony Correnti, the referee.
During the return of the kick, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 53. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Called on Edwin Jackson. The Colts will begin their next series near their own 10, but leading 14-3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. And by Bud Light. Beer with your team on it.
This attitude you spoke of about the Colts, which you saw in production meetings. Luck said it best, perhaps. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves to win. Good pressure. You can see it. And you got a couple here with Gore to start this series. Let's go down to Tracy.
Well, Jim, a lot of juggling on this offensive line for the Colts. This is their 6th starting combination, a different one that they've put out there this year. But running back Frank Gore providing some continuity. Before that last drive, he went over to the line. He reminded them that he's been here before. He got them all pumped up. It led to a touchdown, and you can bet he went over there right after and thanked them. Jim?
Yes, he did. 2nd and 8. And they ride with Gore again, and look at him, show a little burst.
A little burst, which, you know, all the carries, the yards he has in the NFL, and still showing great signs. He has the speed. Of course, he can read the block so well. Jack Doyle lead the way, the tightening up inside. And I think getting ready for this game, watching about 3 or 4 Colt games, I was like, dang, this Frank Gore is amazing.
Starting his 88th consecutive game, leading active rusher in the league.
Over 12,000 yards for his career. I mean, these are, in this day and age, for running backs.
Won't see that many more times. 1st and 10, Luck goes across the body, and it's intercepted. 2nd time in the quarter, Clinton Dix comes up with the football.
Yeah, plenty of time to throw. Really good job by Andrew Luck getting outside the pocket. But if he has one problem, it's overthrows. When he misses high. Worst place to miss in the NFL.
Andrew Luck throwing 2 interceptions in this opening quarter and leading 14-3. Has not had a 2-pick game since last November the 2nd at Carolina.
Well, such a focus on his offseason, taking control of the football, watching fumbles, making sure he's being careful, don't throw the interceptions.
Fake to Jackson. Rodgers able to get away from Perry. And now able to scramble for the first down. He was their leading rusher last week against Atlanta, career high 60 yards rushing. He got 12 with that one.
Well, what can you say? It's the coverage is down the field. They're trying to go down. They want a big, deep throw, but the defense is ready. It's a 3-man rush. And Aaron Rodgers talked about this 3-man rush to us. When he sees a 3-man rush, he knows he can move around. He can buy extra time, and took advantage of it with the run.
First down, Indianapolis 35.
This will go on record how much I hate 3-man rushes.
And the defender slips. As Rodgers throws on the run, and it's out of reach. Again, throwing it toward Richard Rodgers.
Yep. Well, let's go back and look at the interception real quick of Andrew Luck. On the move, he's an overhand thrower, and the ball squirted out of his hand just enough. I could tell as soon as he let it go, but when you're an overhand thrower like he is, over the top, if you don't time it just right, and if the ball isn't gripped the way you want it, you're going to miss these type of throws.
Trying to hit Doyle, who was open.
He was open.
Final minute, first quarter. Rodgers 4 out of 10 in this opening quarter. Facing second and 10. Got a completion here. Richard Rodgers again and again. He is the target. That's his third catch. Picks up 8.
I thought when we came out, nice job. But this game, I really expected him to be in more of those 4 wide receivers with Ty Montgomery in the backfield just because of the injuries and the pass rush of the Indianapolis Colts. But pretty conventional by the Packers standards for the last couple of weeks of the offense we've seen here so far.
Montgomery carried it the first 2 Packer plays for 26 total yards. But it's been Don Jackson the rest of the time. Flag. Colts look to a jump. Rodgers to the end zone. And it is caught as Nelson is able to out-battle Butler for the football.
I'm not going to say anything that had been said about 100 times by announcers, but when he gets you off sides, he's doing one thing. He is looking deep down the field.
Offside, defense number 54. In the neutral zone at the snap, this penalty has been declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
But really, the only shot he's got, just to rip it down the left sideline. Jordy Nelson, big and strong, just wins the battle.
26 yards to Jordy Nelson. Looked like it might get picked. Of course, it wouldn't have held up because of the penalty, but would have prevented the touchdown from going up on the board. And Nelson in his career at home, when he has caught a touchdown, Jordy Nelson and the Packers are 22-1.
Well, that was a great confidence builder for Jordy Nelson to get back to the way he used to have those type of connections a couple years ago.
For Nelson, that's his 7th touchdown catch of the season. Look at him rip it out of the hands of Butler. 14-10 at the end of the first. Well, Jordy Nelson catching a touchdown on the final play of the first quarter, as the Packers this time are able to convert off the takeaway. Indianapolis putting up 14 points. That's the most points in the first quarter for the Colts in a game since October of a year ago.
No, let me just tell you this. Jordy Nelson, if he comes back and gets back to that form that we've seen before, that's another thing that will change this offense big time.
He's going to run it out. It's Todman.
Wow.
Who ran the opening kickoff back, and he's off to the races again at the 50 and tackled down at the 45 of Green Bay. My goodness. A 99-yarder and then a 61-yard return.
Well, again, it's Josh Ferguson, 34, that gets the first block that allows him to get out to the edge. And look at that convoy. So the first time it was up the middle. Look at everybody out in front. Does a good job of cutting back, but at least the hustle and the speed of the kickoff team stops him from scoring.
Tom McMahon, the special teams coordinator for the Colts, has to be thrilled by the contributions made. As Luck gets it over to Moncrief. Bounced out by Gunter. Gain of about 7. Update time. Let's go back to JB in New York.
When you think of Phillip Rivers, it's touchdown passes. 2 great quarterbacks in that game. 2 great quarterback here. 5-play, 87-yard drive. Topped off 6-yard TD pass to Tyrell Williams from Rivers. 16-0 Chargers. Back to Jim Nantz.
All right, thank you, fellas. JB, Boomer, as Gore picks up the first down near the 26. Runs it for 11.
Oh, man, nice job. That time, Jonathan Harrison, the left guard. Now, he's filling in there for Muhort and just excellent job. Gets the block and lets Gore get through there untouched. Harrison last year played some center. Played a little left guard last week also.
Luck at the last moment Trying to get it over to Dorsett. That was going to be well defended anyway. Incomplete.
Well, you got to think, too. I always think this. Does the second interception make you pull into a little bit of a shell and second guess your decision making? You want to really make sure the guy's open before you throw it.
A lot of guys you'd say yes. I'm not so sure about Andrew Luck. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's one of those rare people. He just keeps going and keeps playing and trusts what he sees.
Sends Moncrief to the left. T.Y. Hilton in a slot to the right. And a 2nd and 10 from the Green Bay 26. Sets up a screen with Gore. Doyle threw a big block for him, and Gore's able to pick up the first down yardage.
You said it. The blocking, that says a lot about your football team. Watch number 84, ran out of the backfield, and you go look out in the sideline, and he takes down Quentin Rollins to the ground and allows Gore extra yards.
That is the 400th career reception for Gore, the 9th all-time rusher.
Joe Haig also on a good block.
First down. Luck to the end zone, and it's in and out of the hands of Dwayne Allen. Ryan got a hand in there to knock it loose.
Yeah, Jake Ryan, middle linebacker. Boy, they're putting everybody on Dwayne Allen. It's the 3rd different person that's covered him down the field man-to-man. And I had the pleasure of meeting Jake Ryan's brother in the airport the other day. Brother's named Colin, and Connor, I should say, and has a brother Zach playing linebacker at Ball State, and he just wanted to reaffirm to me that Jake is not the best athlete in the family.
Yeah.
And you know what my answer was? Are any other ones playing pro football?
Yeah, I saw how eager you were at the Saturday morning practice to tell that to Jake. Here's a 2nd and 10 handoff to Gore. And there is Ryan in on the tackle after a gain of a couple.
He's got great size, Ryan. When you see him inside, he's freed up and fast enough to cover Dwayne Allen, as we saw, and of course big enough to just lower himself and make those kind of tackles.
Comes out for this next snap as they bring in Fackrell and Joe Thomas. It's going to be a 3rd and 7. The Colts from the 12. Turbin, the running back. Good time. Luck now. Slides at the 10. They'll have to bring out Vinatieri, who's made his last 43 field goal kicks.
Well, I'm looking down the field, and it's going to be a 3-man rush, so that's why all the extra time is there. But I'm looking down the field with the quarterback, and I see nothing. And then the speed of the Packer defense, which has been talked about a couple times, it's good enough to stop Andrew Luck from getting the first down.
It's going to be a 28-yard field goal attempt for the kicker, who's destined for Canton one day. Adam Vinatieri, at 43 years young.
Watch it.
Pops it right through again. 44 consecutive makes the all-time record. 17-10 Colts taking advantage on this series off the 61-yard kick return by Todman. Prior to the game, the American Red Cross was on hand in the atrium here at Lambeau, constructing holiday mail for heroes. The program allows fans the opportunity to sign cards for troops overseas and veterans that have come back home.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
McAfee handles the kickoff chores. One other little note about Vinatieri. It's the first field goal he's ever made at Lambeau Field. He'd only attempted one in the past. That's the 41st different stadium in the NFL, which he's made a field goal, at least one. In honor of Veterans Day, for every point scored during the NFL's 32 Salute to Service games, the league donates $1,000 to its military nonprofit partners, including the Pat Tillman Foundation, USO, and Wounded Warrior Project. You can join the salute and learn more by visiting NFL.com/salute.
I want you to know that I threw interceptions and fumbles in 44 different stadiums.
Did you really?
So, you know, I'm pretty proud of that. That's a record I think is going to stand up for a while. That means you got to hang in there, you know. You have to keep doing those kind of things.
Well, I also know you threw 199 career touchdowns.
Yes.
Would have liked to have seen one more just to get to that
Me too.
nice round number. It's first down for Rodgers. Down the sideline, batted away by Melvin.
Well, Jim, let's talk about these quarterbacks. Next-gen stats. Two quarterbacks who hold the ball a long time for a different reason. Andrew Luck holds it a long time because it's the design of their offense to throw it deep down the field. Aaron Rodgers, it's a quick-throwing offense, but why is the number large? Because he does a lot of this. Moves out of the pocket, makes throws on the run, and he is awesome throwing the football on the run.
Montgomery back into the game, shifts over to the right side into a slot. Standing in the pocket for a long time and going deep down the field. Oh, he loves that route with Nelson. And a couple of weeks ago when we were here, he mentioned us how much that one, and he had one last week against Atlanta with Nelson.
That was about 65 to 70 yards. You know, it took so long for anybody to get open. Jordy Nelson's really just, you know, clearing out the defense. So he wasn't going full speed, and Aaron Rodgers, well, it's hard to say this, put more air on it, give that receiver more time to run to it. When you throw it that far, though, you hope they can make up that little distance.
3rd and 10 coming up. And another deep ball. This one for Janis. Over the shoulder, no. Vontae Davis.
It was perfect.
The defender.
That one was perfect. He threw it high. It dropped right down into the hands of Janis. Watch, just got to catch it clean. He does not. And again, it was a three-man rush. And this is what's going to happen today. You keep rushing three at Aaron Rodgers, he's going to buy time and keep throwing these deep shots at your defense.
That's the second time in this first half the Packers have had 3 plays and a punt. Shump. Rodgers waves it off. Watches it go out of bounds at the 10. Another good boot by Shump.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new versatile Honda Ridgeline. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. And by Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Available now.
The interactive exhibit Houdini at the History Museum in nearby Appleton. He was raised there, known as Eric Weiss as a young lad. Here's a 1st and 10 snap after a 65-yard punt. Luck with trouble from behind, sensed it, got away from Peppers and slides for a gain of about 6.
Peppers really close. You said it's a sense. He just kind of felt it and maybe saw it. Just caught a glimpse of Julius Peppers behind him to run and get that first down. Watch how close this is. He's got the edge, and Andrew Luck felt it, saw him out the corner of his eye. But again, holding the ball back there for a long time, which they do, couldn't find anybody open.
2nd and 4 with a tight formation. And Gore right into the arms of Daniels. Give him 1.
Yep. Mike Daniels, you said it. You gave him a good plug, deservedly so.
Well, you've been talking him up so much all weekend.
Well, he's just a guy that, you know, over the years, we used to do it with Malik Jackson. We can never give him credit because of the defense and all the big names, but I think he's one of the best interior defensive linemen in the NFL. I know the Packers do too.
And again, Matthews out with a hamstring injury.
You know, when you can stop the run, rush the passer, and do both, that's unique for an inside lineman in this league.
3rd and 3. It's Ferguson out of the backfield, and Martinez rides him down, but it's a first down for Indianapolis.
Well, they tried to fake the blitz, and it did not work. Blake Martinez coming up the middle. He goes, uh-oh, there goes the back free release, and that's what happened. So that's why a lot of teams like to get the running backs, tight ends, get them out of the formation so you can see clear what's going on.
Here's Luck scrambling again. And it's Ryan along with Burnett. Tackle him after a gain of 3. So Indianapolis comes in here after a 30-14 drubbing at home last week to Kansas City. Got to feel pretty good about, here you are second quarter, and you're starting to say, hey, I know everybody's been down on us. We can compete with these guys.
Absolutely, yes. And you can see it, the sense of urgency, the emotion. Andrew Luck's thrown 2 interceptions. They're still leading.
2nd and 7, got it away in the area of Doyle. Saved the sack.
Now they've had enough of these 3-man rushes. This time it's a blitz. And Ryan is all over him. Jake Ryan on the outside. Here he comes. Blake Martinez was up the middle. Good job by Andrew Luck getting rid of the football.
He has not been sacked to this point. Had been knocked down, sacked 31 times coming in, most in the league. Third and 7.
A lot of movement. Oh, boy.
Now they get to him for the first time. It's Clinton Dix who comes up. How about his stat line here in the first half? Now with a sack to go with his 2 picks.
Well, they're just disguising the defense, and everybody's moving. Look at this, at the last second, and almost look at the movement. So Andrew Luck thought he had an easy outside throw for the first down, but the timing of the defense, which is so important, they timed it, and they fooled a veteran quarterback. Hard to do.
McAfee, who's had 2 punts already this year that traveled at least 70 yards. The big leg and the boot to the 22, where Davis makes the fair catch. 8:39 to go in the first half, and the Colts got that explosive kick return to open the game. They lead at 17-10. Tuesday, CBS News is your place for election coverage. Award-winning original reporting, expert analysis, live nationwide. Morning, evening, primetime, election day, Tuesday, only CBS. You see Luck getting a little up there from Scott Tolzien, who was a longtime backup here.
I don't know what they're looking at that last play, because 2 times Green Bay's defense has shifted at the last second and took away the thought process from Andrew Luck and what he wanted to do.
Tolzien backed up Rodgers for 3 years. Gives it here to Montgomery, and he's broken another long one. We were wondering during the break, we hadn't seen Ty Montgomery really running the football since their first 2 plays.
Well, you said it, and he said, where is he? And I the same thing. I'm thinking, you're right. And Ty Montgomery, converted wide receiver, told us that he always wanted to be a running back his whole life. Wide receiver in high school, played a little running back in college. Well, he's going to get his wish up here in Green Bay. They're going to use him a lot more.
3 carries for 43 yards. And that's to Perillo. Backup tight end with a catch for 9. Yeah, Ty Montgomery was a teammate at Stanford. In fact, he caught Andrew Luck's last college pass.
Caught 24 of them that year for 350. How about that? And he loves running between the tackles.
Here he is, getting that chance.
And when's the last time you heard a wide receiver, converted, whatever, say, hey, I want to be inside where the action is? And he's right. Running the football, pass protection, catching the ball out of the backfield. A lot more action for a running back there than it would be for a wide receiver splitting out.
Comes out for a breather. He missed the last game at Atlanta. He carries the sickle cell trait, and it triggered a kidney illness after a hit that he took in the Chicago game. He was brilliant in that Chicago game.
Andrew Luck said, haven't had anybody like him in the 9 years I've been here.
Look at this play action. Pass over to Nelson, incomplete.
Well, look at that, and look at Vontae Davis against Jordy Nelson. And Aaron Rodgers is getting tremendous pass protection, but there have been a lot of these plays where he's throwing it into some very tight coverage.
Nelson just now targeted for the 5th time. He has 1 catch. That went for the touchdown. 26 yards. Randall Cobb is active for this game, even with a hamstring injury, but basically has been non-existent in the offense. As Ripkowski picks up a couple.
Well, they tried to get substitutions in. Indianapolis did, and they went running off the field because Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay did not make any. But now they are, so if Indianapolis wants to send their guys in, here they come from the sideline. Well, they said no again.
Yeah, they thought about it. Zach Kerr goes back.
Zach Kerr just ran 50 yards back and forth trying to get on the field, couldn't make it.
3rd and 8. Rodgers stretches it out just to get it back to the line of scrimmage. That's Eric Walden who dragged him down. And he'll bring back Shum for another punt.
Well, they're trying to throw it inside. Nobody open in there. Just watch the coverage. Devontae Adams in the inside 17. Great technique on the outside. You can't get that play. Janis is covered. Richard Rodgers, nowhere to throw the football.
That goes down as a sack for Walden. Rodgers, fair catch at the 4. 43-yard punt. Shum's had a nice game, including a 65-yarder.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by FedEx, helping small businesses simplify e-commerce. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Jim Nantz, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson back here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And Todman setting the pace for this game with the 99-yard kick return at the start, followed by another 61-yard return here in the second quarter. Handoff up the middle. Green Bay was bringing a lot of folks.
They did it. They played run all the way and stopped them. But how about this? A couple plays in this game. You got to give credit to the defense. Look at all the movement. They're going down low to double team T.Y. Hilton. Andrew Luck says, oh, I got the guy open deep. And no, Clinton Dix there for it. And look at all this movement. Morgan Burnett near the line of scrimmage goes back. Got the sack.
See Dom Capers, their defensive coordinator.
Yep, he's creative, likes to do a lot of stuff, and he can with these versatile players he has on defense.
2nd and 10 from the end zone. Trying to connect with Moncrief, but that was Morgan Burnett on the coverage. This Packer rush defense, second best in the league, Phil.
Yeah, and it's not because everybody just comes out and tries to throw it every down. It's second best because they're good.
Green Bay's defense allowed only 74 yards per game on the ground, and that's even after factoring in Ezekiel Elliott's 157-yard effort in a Cowboy win here a few weeks back. And now with a 3rd and 10. Stop the play clock for a moment at 11. They rush 4. Luck's pass is caught. And that's Dorsett with the first down catch at the 18.
Boy, Andrew Luck is just not afraid. That's an understatement. He will stand in the pocket in his own end zone and just waits. And then Dorsett, Morgan Burnett commits to the underneath guy. Then he waits for the guy behind. Dorsett, and just rips it in there. He is not, as they would say, faint of heart when it comes to standing in the pocket.
No, trying to 48, trying to 50, trying to 50, 180.
It's Gore. And again, met right away by Martinez. SEC action next Saturday, doubleheader. Yes, it'll be South Carolina and Florida, and Auburn and Georgia between the hedges next Saturday right here on CBS Sports.
Pretty good game last night. Enjoyed it. 0-0 after 3 quarters. I thought, man, is this college football? I wasn't sure. Usually it's 52-49 after 3. But a lot of fun to watch LSU and Alabama last night. Gary and Byrne were awesome on the call.
There's a 2nd and 9 coming from the 20. And Luck threads it. Hilton, as Hyde was trying to strip it from behind, but no doing. Gain of 17.
It's a blitz, and they cannot get there that time. Here they come, and they kind of run into each other, so that gives Andrew Luck some extra time to throw it to T.Y. Hilton over the middle. And, you know, when you blitz, the one thing you got to do is spread it out and make sure your spacing and timing is right so one guy doesn't block 2, and that's what happened on it.
That was Hilton's 3rd catch of the game. They've got Moncrief to the near side, but they're going ground as Gore immediately met by Martinez with a flag out. We've had very few of those so far. In fact, only 1 penalty has been held
Offside.
up.
Defense number 56 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. It will remain first down.
That's the first penalty against the Packers in this game.
Well, the one thing you got to like, and early, Rob Chudzinski, the offensive coordinator, making a very strong effort to keep this game balanced, to keep the pace the way they want it, run the football, throw it in some good situations, and not just waiting for 3rd down. So far, so good.
1st and 5, and again it's Gore lowering the pads right into Ryan, picks up 3.
Man,
they can run this if they wish down to the 2-minute warning.
Well, they absolutely should.
To think that this drive began back at the 4, and they faced a 3rd and 10 from back at the 4.
Well, I know I would run it down. Looks like they're going to run a play. You know, the situation is good for you. Think about the other side when you're doing stuff like this. Don't give it back to Aaron Rodgers.
They're not going to run another play.
All right.
2-minute warning. First half at Lambeau. The visitors lead it by 7. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Coming up, the Verizon halftime report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher, scores and highlights, and a preview of Thursday Night Football on the NFL Network coming up on the Verizon halftime report. Got a 2nd and 2. Brings Ferguson out of the backfield, splits him wide right. And out of bounds was Hilton, incomplete. So first 5, last 5. This is something Coach Pagano said to us last night. Guys, we got to play 60 minutes. That's been his speech this week, with a heightened sense of urgency in the first 5 and the last 5 of the first half and the second half.
Well, they got it to start the game. No question with the kickoff return. Here's this last 5. I think this is a big 3rd down try for the Colts to not give the football back, or try not to give the football back to Green Bay.
They're going to run it, try to get it on the ground, and they do with Turbin. Turbin able to take a couple of defenders with him for 7.
Yeah, really got the right spot for it, too. Yeah, Julius Peppers on the outside, nobody to the inside, so he comes in, even though he makes the hit and not blocked, not able to bring him down.
There's Luck across the middle, diving attempt, and they rule it a catch for Jack Doyle. Now, the side judge said complete. Now it's ruled incomplete.
2nd down.
Squirts right out and pins it
right
against
through.
the ground. Never had control.
Really good coverage by Martinez. The distraction probably made Doyle drop it.
Doyle without a catch in this game. He's come on big time this season. 2nd and 10. There's his first reception, and it goes for a first down near the 35.
I would think the Packers overall, as you know, this is an obvious passing situation, got to be disappointed in their pass pressure. I think they thought, and you know, they were going to be able to get to Andrew Luck with their pass rush. And they have not on a steady basis for sure.
Both teams with all of their timeouts, unloading it at the last moment to Turbin. Turbin trying to get to that sideline, and they say he stayed in.
Yep, that shoulder hit the ground, stayed in, but that's not a bad thing for the Colts.
They take a timeout here. At 46 seconds to go and driving. After a short break, it's 2nd and 1. Maybe they got a chance to take a shot here. Already in field goal range. And Luck was under pressure. Coming up again, the Verizon halftime report with JB and all the crew. With all the highlights from the 1 o'clock games. And the preview of Thursday Night Football on NFL Network. Cleveland at Baltimore. Ravens with a big win today against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, just that last play, you can see Andrew Luck after the sacks last week is given, not trying to look for that second look a lot of times. Felt the pressure, got rid of the football.
A drive that's lasted over 5 minutes, 3rd and 1. Luck has it, and he slides for the first at the 20. And now another timeout used by Indianapolis. And the new set of downs on the way. The Colts have converted 3 times on 3rd down on this drive that began at their own 4. Now with 37 seconds to go in the half. First down play coming up. Luck, pressure around his feet. Fires it down at the 7, and Doyle with a sliding catch.
Excellent job in the pocket. Little fake outside, probably trying to go deep with it. And then sidearms it for the completion. Awesome throw by Andrew Luck.
Again, closing out halves has been problematic for the Colts. Can you imagine if they go 96 on Green Bay on the road? Here's the throw to the end zone. It's Moncrief for the touchdown. They complete the 96-yard drive.
And a couple of really awesome plays by Andrew Luck in this last drive. First, movement in the pocket and throwing to Jack Doyle over the middle. Watch this. He wants to go deep. Little pump. Gets away from Daniels on the sack and falling backwards makes the throw. And this is nothing you can do. Back shoulder throw to the outside. Gunter has no chance. Great job by Moncrief.
Moncrief back for the 2nd week and has his 2nd touchdown.
Got that rhythm back. That's what they said. 2nd week back is usually when that talent starts to show again. That was a tremendous catch.
But mentally, what does it mean to this team that has struggled at the end of the first and second halves, having allowed more points than any team in the league at the end of the 2nd quarter in the last 2 minutes, to put together this drive at Green Bay? You could almost call it the perfect drive to go almost the entire length of the field.
It was.
Took their time. They scored the touchdown, not a field goal, and they leave no time.
Boy, everything Chuck Pagano wanted, he's gotten from his football team. The effort, the intensity, and just the energy their energy is visible to us sitting up here quite far away from the field, but more intense than the Green Bay Packers in the first half. The Colts are.
And the 15 plays and the 96 yards, season-long efforts for the Colts.
We've seen this Colts team in a situation almost like this, right? Last year, playing the Denver Broncos, it was almost like a must-win game, and Denver was rolling. They were tough, and
that was this very week. That was
the same week.
Week 9 game in which, well, Andrew suffered the lacerated kidney and never returned for the rest of the season.
But their effort, that game was the best you could possibly have.
So Green Bay go to the locker room down 14. The Colts score touchdowns 13 seconds into the half and 11 seconds left in the half and lead at 24-10. Let's go to Tracy.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Coach, a 96-yard drive to put them up 2 scores. What needs to be corrected in the 2nd half?
We need to play, pick it up. We're giving too much yardage up here, particularly after first contact. So it's just to me, it's we're not playing fast enough right now.
How about offensively? What needs to change?
You got to catch the ball and be man-to-man coverage. Not doing a very good job there.
Thank you.
Packers will be receiving the third quarter kickoff, down 24-10 at the intermission. We're coming back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Third quarter about to get underway here at Lambeau Field. And let's take a look at the Shoulders of Greatness highlight of the first half, brought to you by Head & Shoulders. What else? The very beginning, Todman's 99-yard run to the end zone. As he took the Crosby kick with a running start and took it all the way. One thing about the Packers, you felt like maybe they were onto something. Because of injuries, they had become innovative with all these different situations out of the backfield. That little dump-off pass that had worked with Ty Montgomery, Devontae Adams in recent weeks, really not a factor at all in the first half.
Didn't see all that new ingenuity or whatever, the clever plays that we've seen the last 2 weeks. But let's give a lot of credit to Indianapolis' defense. You know, they've been beaten up a little bit. They've come in here, and I think they're the story of the first half. You saw Mike McCarthy's face at the end with Tracy Wolfson. We got to get some wide receivers open. They did not in the first half.
Yeah, Adams with the 2 catches for -1 yard. As you see the yardage totals, Indianapolis' largest halftime lead since over 2 seasons ago, a game in September of 2014.
And something you have Andrew Luck as your quarterback, you'd expect that to happen more often.
Here's Davis taking the kick out to about the 26, and let's check in with Tracy Wolfson.
Well, Jim, Chuck Pagano's message was the same as the first half. The first 5 and the last 5 will be key. He said his team was able to overcome some mistakes because of the energy, how they started the game. He said those 2 turnovers by Andrew Luck, he needs to make better decisions. And as for his defense, he loves their aggression. They need to continue to execute and tackle better. Jim?
Well, the other thing that McCarthy said to you, Tracy, at the end of the first half about the wideouts. They had 144 catches. The receivers, wide receivers, coming in most in the league. They had only 3 in the first half. 1 by Nelson and 2 by Adams. And there's an incompletion. Would have been just a 4-yard gain, but it falls incomplete to Devontae Adams. I mean, Adams coming in is one of the hottest wideouts in football. 13-catch game, then a 12-reception effort down at Atlanta.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers said his confidence, man, it's soaring. He's got great belief in himself and talks about what he wants on the sideline. We go into a little hurry up here to get this offense going.
On 2nd and 10, it's Montgomery unable to break out of the tackle from David Perry, a former teammate of Montgomery's at Stanford. It's only a gain of 1. Again, Randall Cobb, when you talk about the fleet of wideouts here, he was questionable coming in with a hamstring. They put him up. He's active. He's been on the sideline with a helmet on, ready to go, but has not been brought in. A 3rd and 9. Jeff Janis at the top of the screen. Here's Rodgers from the pocket with time, and he's got the first down as he throws it back over to Richard Rodgers. The 4th catch of the game and a gain of 11.
Well, great matchup that time. Geathers, who was on Rodgers, just gave him so much room to run down the field. Hard to stop him when you give him a 10-yard running start. They make that cut, you just can't go with them quick enough.
So 5 catches by tight ends for the Packers, 3 by wide receivers. New set of downs. And there's Jordy Nelson with his 2nd reception. He fights for that first down yardage with Melvin riding him on his back. They don't give him the generous spot. It's going to be about a yard short. Let's go to Tracy.
Well, Jim, as you mentioned, Randall Cobb on the sideline, ready to go in. I watched him in that first half. He was sitting on the bench with a heating pad on that right hamstring. He spent a lot of time on the stationary bike. I spoke with the Packers. They said he is active. He is ready to go in. It's right now whether he feels up to it, Jim.
Continues to look like he's ready to go in, but he's not. Montgomery, 2nd and 1, has the first. And then takes the pile to the 50. Looked like a 2-yard gain, turned it into 4.
Sure, Mike McCarthy's words at halftime were pretty stern. The effort, the intensity, didn't see it in the first half.
And there's Randall Cobb, Phil, right on cue, coming in.
Well, I do think they stumbled upon something on the offense 2 weeks ago when they played the Chicago Bears. We saw it in Atlanta, too. Cobb in the backfield. Devontae Adams back there. Ty Montgomery.
Good throw to Nelson, who got a block from Rodgers, the tight end, and he picks up another 10 yards to the Colts side of the field at the 40.
It's just a pick play on the outside. They're going to block one guy. Jordy Nelson. Rodgers blocks the guy that's covering him. Frees up Jordy Nelson against Rashawn Melvin.
Seventh play of this opening drive of the second half. And a first down at the Colts 40. Here's Rodgers. Buying time and looking down the field. He's going to keep it. Step out after 3.
I think that time, you just got to trust it. If he looks over here, he's going to like Randall Cobb right away. But he feels just a little pressure, doesn't like it, gets off of it. And look how deep everybody is. Boy, the Colts, good job of recovering to keep that gain to a few yards. Colts, you look at this defense. Ted Monachino is not one that sits back. He will be aggressive. He will blitz. This time it's man-to-man coverage.
It's 2nd and 7. Cobb was in the backfield. Rodgers rolling out, and that's a flag as Adams was held up by Patrick Robinson.
Holding, defense number 25. A 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Second penalty on Indianapolis in this game, and their first since the first quarter.
He's grabbing. They're trying to run a pick play on the outside, which you can do. Pick plays are legal as long as the offensive player is not more than 1 yard down the field. You can go out and block a guy. But I don't know. They're going to call both of them. That's one way to play it. You're going to get up there close to them. You got to be aggressive and keep them at the line of scrimmage as long as possible.
Give Cobb the football, handling it for the first time, and the flag's out, ball's out too. Thought it went out of bounds. It continues to somehow stay in the field of play. Chuck Pagano's going to make an appeal, but I believe someone who was out of bounds touched the pigskin.
I didn't see who, but I think they're trying to knock it back in bounds.
Okay, the ruling on the field was fumble. A player was touching the sideline with ball inbounds. Therefore, the ball is dead out of bounds. It will be Green Bay's ball.
Now Correnti will settle the matter of the yellow marker.
Vontae Davis is the one that knocked it back in, Jim, on the sideline. And he was out of bounds.
Holding, offense number 69. 10-yard penalty and repeat first down.
So here's Cobb touching the football for the first time in this game. And he fumbles it after the hit by Butler. You can see Vontae Davis.
Ooh, he was in bounds.
Yeah, that was.
He's in bounds. And that play, if you can see the recovery, you could challenge this play. So that's all Chuck Pagano. He challenged it.
Yes.
He was trying to get some information. And this is such a big play. Even though he probably doesn't have all the information he wants, it's worth the risk.
Worth the risk because the Packers were gaining momentum on this first drive of the third quarter, having held the football for over 4.5 minutes. So what they saw live is they thought Vontae Davis was out of bounds when he touched the football. That one end zone replay made it look very close and possibly that he was inbounds.
Well, they're absolutely telling him, I don't know what it is, something he doesn't like.
Tell him he can't challenge this play. We'll
There
find
is
out more.
not going to be a challenge on the play, and Indianapolis will not be a charged timeout. The reasoning behind it is, in order for him to challenge, it has to be an immediate recovery, which there was not. Therefore, the ruling of out of bounds stands. The penalty stands. It is Green Bay's ball, first down and 20.
That's not immediate. The ball came. He didn't get it anyway. Oh.
No, it was eventually recovered by the Colts player.
Jackson.
Bakhtiari tried to fall on it.
Majid, does he get it? He hits it, but I think he lets go of it before he goes out of bounds.
Well, that's one thing, too, that may have, in second review, may have said Majid may have been out of bounds, too, at one point while still touching the football. Nonetheless, it's first and 20 from the 42. And Rodgers has a completion. Back to Nelson. With NFL Mobile, stream live local Sunday afternoon, primetime games, and NFL Red Zone right on your mobile device. Learn more at NFL.com/mobile. That pass play to Nelson went for 10. He's caught 3 passes on this series after only 1 reception in the first half, though it went for a touchdown. Second and 10. Rodgers got tripped up from behind by David Perry.
Big David Perry, defensive tackle from Stanford, second year. Tried to run a little simple pattern to the Aaron Rodgers right. Nobody open. He had to move.
And that goes as the Colts' 3rd sack of this game. So from the 33, 5 wides.
Hey, we're squeezing. Lunch.
Oh, the Packers call the timeout from the sideline. 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 11 coming up. Confusion on the part of the Packers. Timeout called from the sideline, facing a 3rd and 11. This first drive of the second half would have kept the football for almost 6 minutes. Rodgers runs away from the pressure, flags down. Buying more time. Heaves it all the way to the end zone where it's intercepted. It's intercepted in the end zone by Green.
It's going to be holding on the Green Bay offensive line, I think.
Holding, offense, number 63. Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 94. By rule, these penalties offset and replay clear down.
Boy, the roughing, the passer call against Kerr takes away the opportunity for the Colts to get the football back on the Green play.
Yeah, the football's gone 1, 2 steps, and it's not, and then hits him high. So no matter what, it's the hit, it's the high hit, it's a double foul, and that was a good call. And a huge break for Green Bay.
Yes, it is, because now, if they just had an incompletion here, you at least have the option. I know they don't want field goal at this time, but you'd have a chance to kick it if you wanted. It would be some 51 yards out. Instead, Rodgers' streak of passes without a pick is now at 133. And here he is on 3rd and 11 out of the gun. Down the middle. He's picked off anyway. Jumping in front and coming up with the play is Darius Butler.
Darius Butler, usually a corner, playing safety today. read the quarterback, and my, what an interception.
6 minutes and 17 seconds they had the football, and they come away empty. Colts with the takeaway.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Hanes with Fresh IQ Advanced Odor Protection Technology. And by National Car Rental. Go national. Go like a pro.
On Tuesday, Packers players, along with United Way's Hometown Huddle program, helped build a warming shelter and benches for an ice rink at nearby Peterson Park. All right, so only the third interception of the season by the Colts defense. They came in the fewest in the league, only a couple. There's Luck to the sideline, Hilton for 7. What did you see with the pick, Phil?
Well, it's like the one in Dallas a few weeks ago. You think the safeties are going to do this, but watch Butler. He comes up inside. Aaron Rodgers thinks they're going to split. So he's reading the quarterback. Watch, he just keeps following Aaron Rodgers' eyes. And then when he lets it go, he dives and makes that interception. So excellent job once again. Disguise. We've seen it from Green Bay. Good disguise by the Colts defense that time.
So Luck and the Colts offense on the field for the first time in 34 minutes of real time. A 2nd and 3 with Gore off right tackle and piled up after only 1. We've got an update. JB and Boomer back in the studio in New York.
Jim, a 21-3 run by Tennessee. That's right, JB, on their first series out after halftime. Out comes Marcus Mariota. He runs 14 yards in for the touchdown. Extra point, 21-19. Tennessee takes the lead over the Chargers. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
Wow, how about that? The Titans trying to go to 5-4 on the year and down 16-0 on the road. Come back to take the lead. Just throwing a flag at the far sideline.
There is no foul on the play for illegal substitution for a player going beyond the numbers and going back to the sideline because the play has to happen. Indianapolis would have had an opportunity to call a timeout. Therefore, there is no penalty. 3rd down.
Okay.
Well, it sets up 3rd and 3 after all that.
Looks like they're going to try to pressure. Always got to be alert for the quarterback keep.
Luck hit when he threw it. Somehow got it away. Incomplete to Doyle. That was Rollins, who almost timed it just right. But now they'll have to punt with McAfee.
Yeah, double blitz from the outside. There comes Rollins. And Morgan Burnett, the 2 defensive backs. Just another look for Andrew Luck to deal with. And, of course, quite a bit of pressure, too.
McAfee punted 1 time in that first half, a 55-yard boot. This one heading to Davis at the 18. Little wiggle, and now tries to take off. Brought down at the 26. That's a 54-yard punt. Pagano's Pack is on top of the Green Bay Packers here. 24-10. Midway through the 3rd quarter. Rodgers and the Packers break huddle. Down 14. It's been a struggle for them to mount anything today. They've had 5 trips onto the Colts side of the field, producing only 10 points on those 5 visits. Starting this drive with a little fling out to Nelson, and he picks up 12, maybe 13.
Well, so far in this game, the Indy defensive backs, the corners, have really been close to the wide receivers. Rashawn Melvin all over. And how about that play against Jordy Nelson? And then we saw the interception by Darius Butler.
The Thursday night game we broadcast with Chicago in town here. You documented over and over again about how, in the first half especially, how hard it was for the Packer wideouts to get open. No separation. A lot of people are trying to lay the blame on Rodgers. Well, tonight, you're not seeing a whole lot of separation either. As he goes play action here on 1st down and was looking deep down the field. Now we'll give it up short to Richard Rodgers, and he tumbles as Edwin Jackson chops him up after one.
Yeah, they were going for that deep play action pass they love to throw, but the Colts were ready for it.
Plus, it's a slick field out here today for some reason. Bathing in sunshine, but it's damp. And we've seen a lot of people slip out here during the game.
I have seen a lot of slips by both teams, and shoot, I even saw the band that was out here before the game practicing. They were falling down.
Second and 9. Go back to Jackson. He gets walloped. He's about 4 yards short of a first. Third down coming up. Tracy, you're down on the sideline. What do you see?
Well, Jim, it's unseasonably warm out, but there was concern that dew would form this morning when there were cooler temperatures. So they sprayed something on the field to keep that dew from settling on the grass. They weren't sure if it was going to work. I have to tell you, I walked out pregame, and it felt like it had rained out here, and it's very, very slick. A bunch of the Colts have changed their cleats. Haven't seen it much from the Packers, but it's definitely slick on this field, Jim.
Okay. And it's showing up in the play with the players continually out of position on their routes. 3rd and 3. Wide open. That's Montgomery, his first reception. And he won't go down without a fight. Montgomery's last 2 games, he had 10 catches and 10 catches, and that's his first in this one.
Out of the backfield, if you want to play man-to-man coverage and you want to be match up, this is the toughest one for you. That's going to put a linebacker, unless they bring in another safety to try to cover him out of the backfield. Even that would be tough because he has so much room, so much speed. Once he makes that cut, there's going to be separation.
Gain of 13. And now for a 6th time today in Indianapolis territory.
Kill. Ready, set.
They go with Jackson. And the rookie back has a couple.
Well, I'll tell you what, David Perry, number 54, is having a good game once again from behind, helps get the tackle along with Jackson.
By the way, there's been a squirrel on the field, and they continue away from the action trying to catch it, and the crowd has been paying as much attention to that little creature trying to find a home.
I mean, would you much rather watch a squirrel than Aaron Rodgers? I mean, I don't know. There he is.
Went underneath our camera stand. During the timeouts, he's been out in the middle of the field, providing a lot of entertainment. 2nd and 8. Whip pass, and it's there. That's Janis. Running free all the way to about the 13.
Well, when they get this fast rhythm passing offense going, that's when it's at its best. Janis just right up the seam. When you play zone, where you're going to watch the quarterback and just react and not cover guys, it's going to create those passing lanes. And good quarterbacks in this league tear up zones like that.
Second longest play of the game for Green Bay. Went for 25. And a first down. Call it at the 14. It's Montgomery.
Wow.
Pushed back after 1.
That's Gathers. Safety that time. He came flying up.
Melvin, too.
He was going to cover the tight end out of the backfield, but he saw it was a run and took on Richard Rodgers and won the battle. That's what they're doing. They're putting in Gathers in there. They're bringing them up, trying to get a little more speed to counter all these different sets that Green Bay puts out there in the field.
It's about to be the 18th play run by the Packers in this quarter versus only 3 by the Colts.
Which has been...
And there's your little squirrel friend running around in the end zone. The officials stop play because of it. Been trying to show the Packers the way to the end zone. He's been spending more time in it than the Green Bay side has.
Well, let's analyze it. That's good form. Springing, yeah, I like that. I got a lot of I had to shut my mouth.
2nd and 9.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah,
Give us some next-gen stats.
Yeah, let's see how fast he really was running. How much ground he covered.
From the 13.
A lot, because he's been out there the whole game.
Adams is in the backfield. Rodgers looking around for help. Going to the end zone. Pass intended for Geronimo Allison, who caught his first NFL pass last week against Atlanta and went for a touchdown. Hasn't seen much time here today.
Yeah, pick a side, but if he stays over here, just watch. It's easy to be a quarterback from up here. But again, they're just watching him. It's a zone, and when it's a zone, you want to look underneath, especially when it's that type of zone when two safeties are deep. We've said that many times, and Aaron Rodgers looking for the touchdown.
Looking for something big here on 3rd and 9 with just outside 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Slides away from the early heat. Now takes off. And he's unable to get all the way there. What will they do here, 4th down? Crosby's already come onto the field.
Oh, yeah, I think you kick the field goal here for sure.
Yeah, he waited. Crosby was looking around. He was about 10 yards out there, and he looked over at the coach. And the crowd's not happy with this decision, but they're going field goal. Be about 27-yard attempt coming up. So Crosby made one and missed one in the first quarter. It's good from 34, missed from 48. Drills this one. First points of the second half. 19-3 as far as plays in this quarter, but only 3 points produced by the Packers.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Kay Jewelers. For 100 years, every kiss begins with K. And by Papa John's, official pizza sponsor of the NFL.
This is the courthouse where the Green Bay Packer Football Corporation was formed back in 1923, the Brown County Courthouse. In this quarter, well, the Packers, they threatened a couple of times. Rodgers got picked off on the first series of the second half, and then Crosby with a field goal on their second drive. No chance for Tottenham to do anything this time. What a game he's had on those 2 returns. And Andrew Luck comes back out with 1:46 to go in the third, leading by 11. 60 Minutes tonight speaks to voters who will help determine the outcome of the election. Plus, the frightening Zika virus is here in America. What's being done about it, you'll see tonight. Only CBS.
They want pressure on this Colts offense. They need a drive to get the pace of this game back in their favor, to rest their defense, more importantly.
And there's some contact in the trenches.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 74. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Man, these offensive linemen are trained, aren't they?
Yes, they are. You know, back in the Bay Area, the Cal-Stanford game, it's huge. We got quarterbacks from Cal and Stanford battling here today, and the Stanford quarterback leading at the moment. And if he was able to lead his team to victory, this would be one of the biggest of his first 5 years in the NFL. Run, and Gore's got the first down. You had to put it in the books for Andrew Luck, who would be one of his favorites, knowing where they've been. Andrew having just started his own book club recently, the Andrew Luck Book Club. Now, How many quarterbacks do you know that would ever come up with that? Got recommendations for rookie readers. He's the only guy. Yeah. There's a 1st and 10 look, and that's a backwards pass, dangerous, but Gore's able to make a move. And there's the field we talked about, trying to make a cut around Micah Hyde, and ends up in a 3-yard loss. Could have been a big one if he was able to make one juke on Hyde.
Well, Tracy Wolfson was down on the field. I can see it. And what she said is like it just rained. So I think that says it all. And you can see the divots. Watch people slip. Some play by Andrew Luck throwing a backwards pass to
It's interesting. We'd have field issues for the Colts and the Packers, who were supposed to open the season in the Hall of Fame game, but because of field conditions, that was canceled. They had to wait a couple of months for that matchup. Here's Turpin taking the pass and getting walloped at near the 37-yard line. Week 9 continues. Sunday Night Football tonight. Denver at Oakland. That should be some game on NBC. And Monday night, Buffalo at Seattle on ESPN. And then Week 10 kicks off Thursday night with Cleveland at Baltimore.
Well, 3rd and long here. The one thing I've noticed in this game so far today, Dom Capers last week, they set back today. They have been blitzing Andrew Luck. Calls 2 interceptions for those blitzes, too.
We're going to the 4th. Indianapolis leads at 24-13, and you're watching the NFL on CBS. Just a field goal put up on the board in that 3rd quarter by Crosby of Green Bay. The Colts lead it, starting the 4th with a 3rd and 9 at their own 37. Luck's thrown for 165 yards and a touchdown to Moncrief, closing seconds of the first half. They come after him. And he's down at the 33. It's Burnett who got to him.
Yep. It's been the trend all day today. Morgan Burnett on the outside. They're playing a zone behind it. Dom Capers kind of created this defense. Here he comes from the outside. 42 Capers. Morgan Burnett. Dom Capers' defense. Tight end couldn't block him.
McAfee with punts of 55 and 54 yards in this game. His 3rd effort. They almost got to him. Oh, it draws a flag as they made contact with McAfee.
That's not going to be running into the kicker.
Looks like it's Ty Montgomery, Phil. Doing a little bit of everything.
There are 2 fouls, both on the defense. Holding. Excuse me. There are fouls against both teams, and they will offset. Holding, offense, number 45. Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense. By rule, these penalties offset. Replay, 4th down.
They made up.
.45, there's the hold right inside.
That's Overton, the long snapper.
Right, and then Ty Montgomery trying to block it. Runs into the kicker, or the punter.
Flag at the line of scrimmage as he drills this one. Line drive. It bounces at the 1. It traveled 67 yards. Net of 47. But again, a flag at the line.
Illegal formation. Offense, not enough players on the line of scrimmage. Green Bay has exercised the option of having the 5-yard penalty added to the touchback. 1st down.
So they will not make McAfee punt it again.
No, he might pin him inside the 5 the way he's kicking the ball.
No question. They'll take it at the 25 when we come back. But their divisions, the Colts at 3-5, plus being already 0-3 inside the division. Coming into the weekend, 2 games out of first. And there you see Green Bay at 4-3. With that Minnesota-Detroit wild one today. The Lions winning in overtime. A flick, and the catch is made by Perillo for about 8. JB and Boomer back in New York have an update.
And Alert D helping the Chargers. I'll tell you what, I hate these spread option plays. Marcus Mariota is going to fumble here right now, and Dwight Lauer is going to pick it up. He's going to return it 35 yards for the touchdown. The Chargers are going to take a 33-21 lead. And by the way, Jim, I do belong to a book club. I know Sims doesn't.
Very nice.
Yeah, Boomer likes to read books as long as it's about him.
Yeah, you get the last word.
Yeah,
Mics are killed out of New York.
I didn't make up the rules. You know, this is how we do it.
First down carry by Ripkowski, giving him a new set of downs at the 36.
Yeah. Hey, quick, hello. 319. 319 up.
And a little miscommunication that time. Looking for Nelson.
Miscommunication, and a big Robert Mathis 98 was just hoping for just one more beat to get to the quarterback.
We had a visit with Robert Mathis yesterday. What'd you take out of that meeting?
Well, a lot of things. One, that he had no scholarship offers coming out of high school. Couldn't afford to go to high school if he didn't get a scholarship, but he just went and worked somewhere. But somebody out of Alabama A&M turned the scholarship down, and at the last second they offered him one, and I think he took advantage of that opportunity, right, Jim?
What a career he's had in his 14th year. Here's a 2nd and 10, and Rodgers able to slip out of that one. Got away from DeQuell Jackson, picks up 4.
Yeah, delayed blitz, really smart, and you just can't get these many opportunities against Aaron Rodgers. Here he comes on the outside, and Aaron Rodgers is slick in the pocket, sees the blitzers, and who's coming free, gets away.
Well, this is in the second half. They've had the football most of the time, but not been able to make much of it. 8-1 in first downs in this half. Looking for one here. 6 yards needed for that first. Down the field, Nelson, double coverage. Both Melvin and Green.
Yeah, there was nothing there. And I'll tell you what, they were not going to let him move out of the pocket that time. Akeem, as they were dropping back, Akeem Ayers was watching Aaron Rodgers the whole time. If he would escape, he was going to be right there to run him down.
So they're going to punt here with 12.5 to go. Shum, who had a 65-yarder in that first half. Didn't catch this one. It goes out of bounds outside of the 20.
What a job by Indy's defense so far today.
They mark it near the 29. Just a 31-yard punt.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Citi Double Cash Card. Intel. Upgrade to a new PC with powerful performance. And by Lowe's. Make your home happy.
All right, the Colts with the lead and the football. Fourth quarter at the 29-yard line. We had 24 points scored in the first quarter, 13 points total since.
They're going to blitz because they were expecting run, and they check out and play pass coverage here. Good job by the Green Bay defense.
Luck goes down the field. He's got Moncrief with the catch at the 31-yard line of Green Bay.
Moncrief, you talked about it second week back. This is just about getting outside and going. And Gunter falls behind Andrew Luck, saw the defense change, and makes a terrific throw.
39-yard pass play. That's the longest play from scrimmage in this game.
When you play this offense, haven't seen it as much today as usual, but they run more deep routes than any team in the NFL, right up there with the Arizona Cardinals.
It's Gore through traffic, staying on his feet. Yeah, no kidding. About the 26, give him 6 yards. This is what you're referring to about being a deep throwing team.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, it's really the attempts first, completions fourth, yards seventh. A lot of pressure on Andrew Luck to hold the ball, stand in the pocket, pressure on the offensive line. But I think what they do, it hasn't been great this year, but it fits Andrew Luck and what they're trying to go to and here the rest of the year in the future. He is a downfield thrower. Give him time, get his feet under him. He can stick some 20-yard throws in there like they're 5 yards.
2nd and 4. He's got a wide open Doyle with the first down. And all the way to the 13 before he's somersaulted by him.
Yeah, they knew it was going to be a blitz. Green Bay has been blitzing on first downs, expecting run. So Rob Jasinski comes with a little play action pass, bootleg, and wide open is Doyle. That's what it's all about. You know, it's a chess match. Can you guess what the other team is doing to take advantage of it?
For Doyle, his third catch of the game, giving him now 34 on the season. He had 35 receptions total through his first 3 years. Luck pumps twice and then throws incomplete. In the area of Turbin.
Well, you know, you look at today's game, Green Bay was going to be aggressive. They blitz 19% of the time usually, but today 37%. And they've got a couple sacks, turnovers. Here it is, and we saw the drive before this one get stopped by a blitz too, Jim.
Micah Hyde was injured on that last play. Hyde, they're looking at him on the bench on the left, and that's Kentrell Bryce taking his place in the secondary for the Packers. Colts with a 2nd and 10 at the 14. And Luck just lobs this one over the head of Gore. Well, there's a flag on the far sideline at about the 7-yard line.
Well, double linebacker blitz up the middle, and they have no chance to slow him down.
Dante Moncrief signaling it's going to be a hold against Packers. We'll see.
Defense, number 26. 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
There it is on Dante Moncrief. Yep, called the wrong number. It's Bryce.
It's Bryce who just came into the game, yeah.
Yeah, just came in the game.
So 1st and goal. Colts.
Well, how about this? Little wildcat.
Yeah, and they direct snap it to Gore, powers ahead to the 4. Pick up a 5.
Nice little call, little deception, just makes you hesitate for a half a beat, and that was enough to give Frank Gore 5 yards. I would have loved this. I would have been great at going in motion. Might have taken me a while to get out there, but I still could have done it well. But how about Frank Gore, though, the veteran? You see both arms around the football, knowing how important the situation is. And I would run this clock. Still a lot of time to go, but don't be in a hurry running these plays.
Now it's 2nd and goal. It's Gore again, trying to find the end zone for the 2nd time, and he does.
What a run. Dante Moncrief comes in. The wide receiver, Dwayne Allen, just back from being injured. You've seen him catch passes today. Great job of blocking. Let's watch 83. Here's 83. Watch 84. They both get down in there. Oh, and Doyle comes off the double team and makes the block where Frank Gore goes behind him. Look at Doyle. That was awesome.
Gore was 61 yards on 16 carries and a couple of touchdowns. This drive really aided by the 39-yard pass play to Moncrief. And the extra point by Vinatieri is good. Opening up an 18-point lead.
That was some drive.
71 yards in 6 plays.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM. And by Subway. Try the new Autumn Carb Turkey Sandwich today.
Well, we showed you the Houdini exhibit a little bit earlier in this game in nearby Appleton. It's going to take some magic by Aaron Rodgers and the Packers to avoid a loss in this one. Down 18 with just 9.5 remaining. Aaron Rodgers has never lost in his career a home game by more than 14 points. He's down 18 at the moment. What's going to be the attack here now?
Well, listen, hurry up, spread, put it in Aaron Rodgers' hands every single play. But let's don't lose sight of this. The Indianapolis Colts have outplayed Green Bay today. We said it in the first half. They have more intensity. They felt the pressure. They've shown to be that team. And the defense, Indy's defense, Ted Monachino, what a job of what they've done. Mixing it up, beat up defensive secondary, doing a terrific job.
Rodgers down the field to Adams, and Adams just one step short of the long hookup. Rodgers is a little gimpy.
He just gets such good protection. Adams on the outside 17 just runs through the coverage. Boy, and TJ Green's got speed, and Aaron Rodgers, his left foot.
He was limping around a few times yesterday during the walkthrough.
Yeah, you came and told me that you saw him limping. I did not see it, but maybe that was the reason why, that foot.
It's a 2nd and 10, and the catch held on to by Montgomery. That's Vontae Davis, and that brings out a flag.
Well, they're going to call this a personal foul.
Personal foul, defense number 21 with contact to the head and neck area of a defenseless player. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play and an automatic first down.
So they get the 7 on the pass play and then the 15 on this hit right here.
Yeah, good call. It is. When I saw it, I thought it was going to be clean, but that shoulder pad definitely was to the helmet of Ty Montgomery.
And look who's shaken up, the man who delivered the blow, who came into the game injured anyway off a concussion and had been questionable.
Looking at his left hand, Vontae Davis, that's big. He's their best cover corner. Rashawn Melvin, Darius Butler, TJ Green.
Randall Cobb is out for the Green Bay offense. Wide open. It's Adams. Going to cut back inside the 20 and down to the 13. DeQuell Jackson comes back to get him, but that is the longest play of the game for the Packers. Goes for 40.
Watch the in and out, but watch the corner. Rashawn Melvin, well, he didn't really slip. He just got tangled up because that was a terrific route by Davante Adams. I saw him do this a couple weeks ago, and when we were here doing a Chicago game, the same exact route, almost in the same spot of the field, and did that to the corner 2 weeks ago. Big gain.
Adams' third catch. Quickly over to Cobb, his first reception, and he tries to drag it out, but Frankie Williams keeps him short by a yard.
This is what they wanted the game to turn into. A lot of throws to the outside quick, and then can the defensive back, linebacker, whoever it is, make this tackle? And haven't seen much of it today, though.
First and goal. Rodgers chased and able to release it just in time. That was the rookie safety, TJ Green, coming up from behind.
Now, they were all over that play. This is a favorite play of the Green Bay Packers, West Coast, so-called West Coast offense. The inside receiver runs out. Watch 18 go out. Nope, they switch them. Nobody's open. Really well done. Sure, all week long they said they get this formation. Here's the play they like to run inside the 5, and they were right.
Second and goal. Looking to Adams, and it is caught by Adams for the touchdown.
Patrick Robinson on the coverage. It's all about the start. And Davante Adams did it right off the line of scrimmage. A little move, that's enough to create that little, and boy, he gets his whole body turned around, squares up to Aaron Rodgers, puts it right on his chest.
Boy, that drive took less than 2 minutes to go down the field. And now they're going to go for 2. 75 yards in a minute and 55 seconds. And Adams awakens on this drive. Has the 40-yard pass play and then the touchdown catch.
I would not go, when you look at this, I would not go for 2 here. I would go for 1 and use the 2, wait till I had to go for 2, which would be after the next touchdown.
Here's Rodgers. 2-point conversion, and it's broken up. He was going right back to Adams again, and Patrick Robinson was the one who prevented it.
See, that keeps it at 12, and now it's 2 touchdowns. You kick the extra point, it's a touchdown and a field goal, plus the 2-point conversion.
Some of the early headlines. Week 9, big game for Jason Witten and Dak Prescott. The Cowboys victorious for the 7th straight time. How about the Lions? They get the field goal from 58 to tie it at the end of regulation, then win it on the first possession touchdown to Golden Tate. That's Chris Moore on a blocked punt return for a touchdown as the Ravens spoil Big Ben's return.
There's a big moment here with a Green Bay Packers onside kick. The Colts really don't have that many people up. They're playing for the kickoff. If I was the Packers, I would kick off and go for the 3 and out on defense.
Go ahead and kick it 2 yards deep, and Todman will take the touchback. Prescott throws for 3 touchdowns and the Cowboys win as Cleveland remains winless. There's Tate with 11 catches, including the game winner. Wallace went deep for a touchdown from Flacco. Baltimore takes that one, and Ajayi over 100, not over 200 as he had been in the last 2 games. Miami's now 4-4.
Hey, he went over 100 against a really good run defense. But the Colts, they got to find a way to make 1 first down to really put the clock against Green Bay.
Well, they're going to come out throwing, it appears, and they get the completion.
Really good call. I love it. Andrew Luck, if nothing else, could have just turned up the field and gained a yard or 2.
That was Eric Swope with the catch, the former University of Miami basketball player for Jim Larinaga.
Yeah.
Never played football until the NFL.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's turning into a football player, and I would have liked to watch him play some basketball. That's a football body out there.
No question. 4-year player for the Hurricanes in basketball. Coming out of the same basketball program, if you will, at Miami, Jimmy Graham.
There you go.
2nd and 4.
Right.
Oh, and they're there. It's Ryan to tackle Gore for a loss. A big 3rd down play coming up.
Yep, Jake Ryan has been unbelievable today, everywhere, making tackles. When he has a chance to make the tackle, he is doing it. It's like he's must have been a wrestler. I'm not sure. I don't think he was, but great form, wrapping him up, bringing him down.
Going to set up 3rd and 6.
Green Bay has been aggressive every time in a situation like this. As Dom Capers have another blitz to fool the offensive line, which is makeshift, and to make it a mistake.
There's Luck's pass. It's caught, but Doyle is going to be short of the first by a foot.
Boy, he did just the opposite. He put 8 people in coverage and rushed 3, and it is 4th down.
You got to punt it here. And they're already bringing out the punting unit.
Well, they got what they wanted. They kicked off. They got a 3 and out. But the clock is moving. You still have 2 timeouts. Green Bay used one early when...
Yeah, that first drive of the 3rd quarter when there was all kinds of confusion. They were driving, ultimately leading to a takeaway. Interception by the Colts defense. McKee's punt fair caught at the 20 by Davis. There was some contact, but no flag. 45-yard punt. Next week, regional action on CBS. The showcase game is down in New Orleans. Denver and the Saints will be there for that one, plus other regional action. Check your local listings. And, of course, it all begins with JB and the whole crew in the studio. The Saints putting up a big performance. They're going to win out in San Francisco today. That's just got a couple of minutes to go. And New Orleans is up 18. They're going to get back to 500 on the year.
Hey, Saints offense can't wait to go down. That's going to be a good game against Denver to see that offense of the Saints against the great Denver defense. But, hey, we got a good one here at the end. Aaron Rodgers needs 2 scores, touchdowns, to win this game in the last 5 minutes and 28 seconds.
First down, he flips it to Montgomery, waiting for a blocker. Look at him, push aside a couple of tacklers. He's a nifty runner, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got it. I mean, he has found his spot on this football team. I mean, a wide receiver turned running back. We said it, he always wanted to be a running back. It shows those skills, big enough and tough enough to take the punishment. Colts missing some tackles now.
First and 10, and another completion to Nelson. And Vontae Davis, who was shaken up on the last series, back out, and he pushes to the sideline Nelson after 13.
Well, it was a blitz, so they played soft and back. You know, what did Chuck McConnell say? Look, you want to win these games, you cannot be afraid. So you just can't keep giving them easy completions.
First 5 and last 5. That was an overarching message, yes. And we moved into the last 5.
Tight coverage this time.
First down. That's a catch by Richard Rodgers. Give him 9.
Well, you can't fault this. You can't do any better. The coverage is outstanding. It's just a perfect throw, and Richard Rodgers makes the catch.
These teams met 4 years ago. Andrew Luck's rookie season, and the Colts came back from 18 down to win it. Green Bay was down 18 in this one. Dumping it off. Rukowski with the first down. Only a gain of about 3. And Walden there shoves him down a second time.
Yep. And Monachino, this is a tough spot always in these situations. You're just hoping the clock keep it moving. You want one of your pass rushers just once make a play. You know it's going to be a pass every down.
That's Rodgers slipping away from him, and he's got open field. He's got all kinds of room to the 16.
Well, everybody is playing man coverage, chasing receivers around the field. Nobody looking at the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
21-yard scramble. And Rodgers with 43 on the ground to go with 281 passing.
And inside of 5 minutes, when you go out of bounds, the clock stops until the next football is snapped.
What do you say? 319.
Quickly, the Nelson sidesteps, one hit, and is out of bounds near the 3.
Screen to the outside. Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams get great blocks. Watch them in front. Here, there. And Jordy Nelson makes somebody miss, and it makes Butler make the tackle.
Motoring down the field again. Rodgers 5 for 5 on this drive. First and goal from the 3. They've been able to take it down the field in 1 minute and 55 for a touchdown. They're 1 minute and 54 seconds to get to this point on this series. Montgomery, the running back. Rodgers looking for options. Flings it. Got it. It's caught by Cobb.
That's his best throw of the night. To anticipate. Is Cobb gonna fake like he's blocking? It's going to be a screen, and he just goes around to the back of the end zone. They were trying to go to the right. It's not there, and he waits. And what an adjustment by Randall Cobb, and how about that tight throw? Right down the middle. Can't do it better than that. That was just pure.
Which they have to go for just one here. As you called it in advance, you did not like the 2-point idea the first time around in this quarter. But it's a 5-point game now with 3:29 to play. I mean, they've just raced down the field. 2 touchdown drives. One covering 75 yards, the other one 80, and both of them under 2 minutes.
Well, listen, under pressure, the football in Aaron Rodgers' hand, the defense got tired. The pass rush lost their lanes. Watch, he's looking now. Watch how he just flicks this football with just power. Just, man. We were talking about it last night with Chuck Pagano. He's been in the league a long time. He goes, I've never seen anybody use their hand and wrist and make the throws that Aaron Rodgers makes. And a lot of times, you saw him, Jim. You were a little surprised we looked at it last night. A lot of those throws, his feet are not even on the ground.
No, he's both are. It's like a jump throw.
Yep.
He's got so much velocity behind it.
Well, now the Colts have no choice.
Okay.
They're going to have to be aggressive on the offensive side.
There's the kick. And instead of pooching it, they just go ahead and drill it over the head of T.Y. Hilton.
Yep. I know. Jim Nantz, special teams coach. What do you want him to do?
Well, when you got
everybody up there.
You got 10 standing up there near midfield. You've got an awful lot of space with one player back there. Put it on the ground somehow.
I agree.
Make him try to fight for the football. You may get a crazy bounce, and you got a bunch of guys heading toward you. Instead, you put him at the 25. 3:29 to go.
Well, Green Bay has been aggressive all day on the defensive side. Dom Capers has tried to make Andrew Luck as uncomfortable as he possibly could. They got him up there, so if you run the football, it's going to be almost impossible to gain yards. Play action pass.
3 tight ends. Handoff to Gore. He's met high and low at the line of scrimmage.
Well, the Troy Guyon, Mike Daniels, all of them, that was just nothing there.
Timeout, Green Bay. Gives us a chance for an update. JB and Boomer, fill us in.
San Diego D helping out. Hey guys, exciting game going on in San Diego. Down by 8, Titans come on the field. Marcus Mariota throws this interception to Brandon Flowers. He returns it 34 yards for the touchdown. Chargers now on top 43-28.
So Phil Simms has added special teams coach to your titles, Jim?
Thank you. Yes. One of these days, JB, if somebody asks, who knows? Thank you, fellas.
Makeshift offensive line, obvious passing situation. This is where they had struggled to protect Andrew Luck.
2nd and 10. This place is in a frenzy. Here's the throw, and it bounces in the direction of Hilton.
Now, this has to get rid of it quick, has to be careful, and the pressure, the pocket is just collapsing at a quick rate. Look at all the hands. Oh my gosh, they blew the coverage. Dante Moncrief was uncovered. Clock stops. Everything going Green Bay's way right now.
3rd and 10. Luck able to get away from the sack, and he completes the throw to Doyle. They had him. Clinton Dix had him, but he was able to shake it off.
Clinton Dix, here he comes on the outside, unblocked. But Andrew Luck just is so big and strong and keeps those feet where he has a good base, and he can shake off those kind of tackles or sacks.
Look at Chuck Pagano, knowing how huge that was.
Oh.
20 yards to Doyle. Green Bay takes a timeout. It's final timeout.
Well, Andrew Luck has had so many fourth-quarter comebacks. Tell you what, he's had a lot of fourth-quarter comebacks where the defense gives up a quick drive at the end to lose it for him, too. But what a play. Just the strength and that natural strength he has to hang in there.
Watch Rodgers' reaction on the 3rd down completion. So ready to get back out there.
Oh, yeah, I would have liked their chances to score a touchdown if they got the ball back.
Again, Packers can't stop it. That's Gore. Only the 2-minute warning. Pick up a 2. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes and the presidential election. Plus what's being done about the Zika virus in America. Then all new episodes NCIS Los Angeles, Madam Secretary, Elementary on America's #1 network.
Jim, the will of the Indianapolis Colts today is what's been the difference. Green Bay's made a terrific comeback. This game is not over, but the will. And we saw it in that last play by Andrew Luck, just being tough, hands on the football, shake a tackle, make a throw.
2nd and 8. They're going up top. And Hilton makes the sliding catch. Well, they rule him out of bounds.
Boy, did he get
Hilton thought he got down in the field to play.
He was trying to give himself up.
But
and they're just saying he did slide out of bounds, but it's going backwards, so he was not forced.
So it stops the clock at 2:21. And again, a crucial 3rd down coming. Needing 2.
Well, that was big. That would have taken it to 2 minutes. That would have taken it to just over a minute when Green Bay gets the football back if he would have stayed in bounds.
Timeout Colts. Timeout Colts. And you start to look at it. If they manage to pick up the 1st down here, run it down to the 2-minute warning, would not take the 1st down snap until the other side of it. It's basically ball game.
Yes. The big question is, you're in this situation. Now, if you you don't get it if you throw the football. Brian Schottenheimer, quarterback coach, giving the play. But if you don't get the 1st down, if you throw it, if it's incomplete, you give Aaron Rodgers that offense that extra time, that could be a problem too.
But if you run it and you're stopped and you have to punt on the other side of 2 minutes, Rodgers will have about 1:50.
With no timeouts.
No timeouts to go the distance, but that should be enough time. They've just gone twice the distance in about that range.
It's going to be another blitz.
From the gun. Going up top for it. Got protection over the middle, and they've got the reception to T.Y. Hilton.
They were ready. What a call. They were ready for the blitz. They kept guys in. He gets extra time to throw. Here they come. T.Y. on the top. Goes across the middle. Hard to cover him when there's nobody back there to help him.
For those of you expecting to see 60 Minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS and the Colts and the Packers. 2 minutes to go. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, Tracy Wolfson. 31-26 Indianapolis. Just kneel downs remaining. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety after the game, except on the West Coast.
Well, 2 things. How about Andrew Luck's 3rd down? Shake off the blitz. Get the completion to Doyle down the field. And how about the courage? That's the word I can say here. By Rob Chudzinski to call the deep down the field throw, knowing they were going to blitz. They changed their protection, gave him time, and he had T.Y. Hilton. Those plays and just the will of Indy to win the game.
2 things that Luck said to us in meeting with him yesterday. Chud is a really good play caller, and I need to play well for us to have a chance to win. We put a good amount of pressure on ourselves to win this game.
He made the plays. The old cliche, when they counted, and that's what happened. The drive for the touchdown, and how about this one? Just, oh my gosh. Off balance, going to his left, shook it, and then this one to win the game for the Colts.
You know, when they last played in 2012, we referenced it before. It was the first game that Chuck Pagano missed. He had just been diagnosed with leukemia. Green Bay came into Indianapolis, and the Packers were even supportive. They wore the Chuck Strong T-shirts under their uniforms. The Colts came back from 18 down to win it. That was Luck's rookie year. But Pagano kept telling his team that, hey, last year there were 3 teams that came back from a 3-5 start to make the postseason. Houston, Washington, and Kansas City. That could be us.
Well, courageous, really terrific pressure game by the Colts. They came out and played like it was their whole season, and it showed. And then their defense came through big time for most of the game. But Andrew Luck, those last couple plays were the difference.
You saw Todman who got it started. Colts go to 4-5. Packers slump to 4-4. It's a 31-26 final in favor of Indianapolis. Tonight on CBS begins with 60 Minutes, then all new NCIS Los Angeles, Madam Secretary, and Elementary. For Phil and Tracy, Jim Nance sang song from Green Bay. Bonus coverage of the Titans and Chargers coming up. Let's go to James Brown in New York.